Welcome to Just Love Live. I am your host, Beatriz Diaz Taveras, the Executive Director of Catholic Charities Community Services. Thank you for tuning in our monthly show where we will discuss major issues facing everyday New Yorkers, from housing and food insufficiency to eviction prevention and workforce development. We would also look at how Catholic Charities New York and the greater human services community is responding to these needs and helping provide help to the most vulnerable among us. The month of April is Autism Awareness Month, and also when young people start preparing for summer employment. In the first segment of this episode, we will discuss the programs offered by Catholic Charities of Staten Island for children and young adults with autism and developmental disabilities. And the second segment, we will focus on the success of the Summer Youth Employment Program of Catholic Charities Community Services, Alianza Youth Services. Please welcome our first guests, Lauren Colangelo, Director of Day Services, and Amanda Danzo, Assistant Director of Day Services. Lauren and Amanda currently provide services to 70 individuals, young and old, diagnosed with intellectual and developmental disability. The programs strive to help each participant become as independent as they can in achieving their personal goals in a caring and nurturing environment. Laura and Amanda and their team make sure each participant feels respected, heard, and cared for in a community setting. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for having us.
So, as we know, April is Autism Awareness Month, and I know that Catholic Charities of Staten Island provides services for those children with autism. What are some of the signs of autism?
So early intervention is key. We always tell our parents, make sure you're comfortable with your child's pediatrician. And a lot of the signs are that the child is not hitting the milestones that they're supposed to be reaching. At 6 months of age, some children might not be rolling over. They might not be displaying eye contact. Some children don't even acknowledge their name when you try to call them. And from experience, a lot of our parents also have stated that they saw their child reach the milestone and then it just stopped around 18 to 24 months. So there was regression as well.
Yeah, we have a lot of comparison to siblings as well, where parents will say that, their first child hit these milestones, no issues, and then their second or third child, there was a significant delay, whether it be speech or fine motor, but as Lauren said, early intervention is definitely key.
So this really is a good segue for my next question, which is, parents do find themselves, and even grandparents as I am, confused and lost. And what is the best advice after you know your child has been diagnosed with autism? What should they do?
We just want them to know at first they're not alone. There's a whole community out there of supporters that are willing to help them and give them their feedback and guide them in the right direction. So the good thing about social media is there's a lot of support groups out there that a parent can sign up for and just find out what they should do first. There's a lot of services, more today than there were in the past.
Definitely takes a village, and we make that known, and we offer our support and as many resources that we can provide them with, because education is key. And as we say all the time, no two are the same. So there's no way to compare, the advancements that your child can make to another child in that, predicament. So
tell me a little bit about the services, your after school program or your vocational services that you provide on Staten Island.
So Lauren and I run a day habilitation program without walls, which is for our 21 and up crew, so our graduates. We run an after school program, which is for our younger guys, and we run supportive employment. All three programs are definitely vital to the structure of their day and the developments that they've made. The beauty of the flow of these programs is we've watched the kids, you know, as young as school age grow and mature into adults who are transitioning into vocational jobs and vocational training programs, which is really the beauty of the flow of how we have these programs set up. But these programs are vital to integrating them not only into the community, but into learning the skills needed to be part of the workforce, be part of that integration, and to learn the skills and the tools that they need, and to know that they have the support of a circle of support and the program directors and the staff behind them. It's really an amazing thing to watch.
What kind of vocational training do you give them?
So in our adult rehabilitation program, like Amanda said, you have to be 21 years of age and older to attend, and we're out in the community. We believe in inclusion, and we want to teach each individual work skills. So right now our groups volunteer at several community hubs in Staten Island. We do Meals on Wheels. One of the groups help with food pantry. They fill bags. And we have another group that's currently at a hotel. And they're learning how to, you know, it all depends on the individual's need. We're very person-centered based. So some skills that they're learning are learning how to greet customers, how to say hello. Another skill they could be learning is, you know, how to learn money management skills while in a community, how to make a purchase independently and know if I give $20, do I receive change back?
Wow.
Yeah.
So can you give me a story about one of your clients? You mentioned you've seen them grow up, so.
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
I don't even know where to start.
I mean, I have to say we're very blessed because we started with our after-school program, which serves individual children.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these individuals we've been working with for 20 years. So we'll see them at 6 years old, not knowing how to sit down and, you know, write their name, or not being able to acknowledge us. And now they're in our adult day hab program, and they're volunteering at work sites. They're participating amongst community members. It really is a blessing. One particular story will tell you, we had an individual that loved SpongeBob, loved the cartoon SpongeBob, was obsessed with SpongeBob. And one day saw a show, and SpongeBob did the Heimlich maneuver on the show. And when he was in school, a student was choking, and he got up and performed the Heimlich maneuver and saved the student's life.
Oh,
all because he learned what to do from watching SpongeBob.
Wow, that is
Yes.
amazing.
It's amazing what they take in.
Tell me about your intellectual and adaptive skills curriculum.
So we base our curriculum, we're very person-centered. So we will work on any type of goals as long as the individual and the family feel that these goals should be worked on. So our goals range in age from, you know, learning how to tie your shoe, learning toileting skills, learning how to brush your teeth, to money management skills, learning how to, you know, save money, learning how to make a purchase in the community. We will do anything and everything as long as the participant is willing to try.
And it's really great because they'll start with just, you know, adding basic bills together and learning money management.
Mm-hmm.
And we're at the point now where we're introducing them how to deal with coupons and how to, so like the levels that they've moved up from when they first began, it's to be part of that is very fulfilling.
What's the importance of having this holistic approach and this person-centered for your services?
I think the most important thing is for everyone to realize just because someone has a disability doesn't mean they don't have goals and dreams and, you know, certain things that they want to attain in life. So person-centered, you know, we could tell anybody what they need to work on, but it's the individual that really needs to tell us what they want to work on.
How do the parents fit in? Because I know sometimes parents can be overprotective or really not want to let go or feel they must be hovering. So tell me, how do you work with parents?
We have been blessed.
Yeah.
We have been blessed. You know, I give the parents a lot of credit. And like a big part of it is in entrusting their child in our care. So we are very blessed that they trust us in our care. But I really think too, a lot of times we've had to step in and say, this is what your child wants. We have to just, you know, go down this road and see where it leads us.
Mm-hmm. That must be difficult for some parents, because they see a different vision. And
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Good. How would someone be referred to your programs? So what is the referral method? Who would they call?
So right now, every participant has to be enrolled in the HCBS waiver, the Home and Community-Based Waiver. They have to go through OPWDD, Options for People with Developmental Disabilities. There's a whole team that gets us to that step, and they be referred to our program. You can go to our website at cc-si.org.
So say that very slowly.
Yes, that's a tongue twister. You can go to our website, www.cc-si.org, and you can find out all about the programs that Catholic Charities of Staten Island have.
Oh, great. So any last words of wisdom? What would you want to tell our viewers about autism?
I would say the only disability in life is a bad attitude.
Absolutely.
You know, get to know the person. Don't just see the disability. Get to really know the person, because we work with a bunch of amazing individuals.
We've seen some amazing things in our time and our tenure with these guys, and it's so rewarding, it's so fulfilling, and we go to work loving what we do and who we provide services for, and we look forward to watching them grow and learning new things. It's really the best part of it.
You know, so I was sharing that my own granddaughter is on the spectrum, and what we've discovered is she loves to draw.
Yeah.
So we have colored pencils, we have paper, and when she comes over, she's always drawing for us. So, you know, and it's right. You do have to really understand the individual and work with the child. It could be an adult, it could be a child, but learning to know what they would like to do and what they would want to grow to. So it's so true. So
yes, they lead the way. They tell us how they want the program run.
They do. Great. So, you know, I want to say thank you to Lauren and Amanda, because this has been a very enlightening information, and also letting us know about the services of Catholic Charities of Staten Island. So we're going to be right back with our second half of our program after the break. Welcome back. Since 1963, the Summer Youth Employment Program has been employing young adults and teaching them about workplace etiquette, skilled resume writing, and the value of earning a paycheck for work done. Please welcome Eddie Silverio, the Division Director of Alianza Youth Services at Catholic Charities Community Services. He has spearheaded the youth employment services movement for the last 3 decades. He is an advocate for the SYEP program. Joining him are Bobby Gates, who is the director of the Summer Youth Employment Program for Alianza Youth Services. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, B.
So, Catholic Charities Community Services, our Alianza Youth Services SYEP program is one of the largest in the city. How many people do we employ through SYEP, and what are their ages?
So we are contracted to serve over 2,200 young people, ages 14 to 15, which is our younger youth cohort, and 16 to 24, which is our older youth cohort. And we have contracts in Manhattan and in the Bronx. Not all the agencies have both, but multiple boroughs. So we're blessed to have multiple boroughs and have both younger youth and older youth slots.
And every year we keep growing. Every year, so we're always asking for more because we have the manpower, we have the sites, and we're always ready to take on more.
So tell me about those sites. What kind of jobs are the youth employed in, and where are they going?
Well, we have a variety of jobs. We have retail, we have fast food, we have dental clinics, we have healthcare, we have law firms, we have performing arts, we have hospitals, we have park and recreations. We have art. We also have project-based learning organizations. So we have a variety of jobs. But of course, we're always looking for more partnerships, more organizations where we could connect to and build on more work sites for our participants.
So you talk about that, but what we just learned is that here at Manhattan Neighborhood Network, one of the members of the production team, Miguel Mercedes, was actually started here as an SYEP production.
Yes.
So I am so proud and honored that he is now an employee here. So you see, it does happen. What's the value of having the young people work during the summer?
I think it builds soft skills. It builds an opportunity to responsibility for young people. I think sometimes before, when they used to allow 14, 15-year-olds to do entry-level jobs, we would get them entry-level jobs. Now they do virtual jobs, and they learn soft skills and virtual skills. But with the young people 16 to 24, they're building a resume, right? So we've seen young people like Miguel, thank you, Beatriz, for the shout out, right? And others that started with their little summer jobs, and then they build a career out of it. We have 2 young people that started cleaning schools, and people are like, what kind of job is that? They're now custodians making 6-figure salaries.
Wow.
And that's the work, right? I think that a lot of people don't realize we've been blessed to do this for a few years. And we keep track of our young people. And that's one of the things that's good about Bobby. Bobby understands that it's a beginning. It's that we don't end with them. So we continue, we support them with resume writing, career opportunities, and financial literacy. So we don't cut them in the summer. We continue to service them during the winter as well.
Do you think that work during the summer deters the young people from getting into trouble?
100%.
100%. Yes, it keeps them off the streets.
Yeah.
And with young students, they like a lot of things. There's a lot of things that come out every year. So it kind of helping them understand what is the value of making $1. How does it feel to earn a paycheck? So they go to these jobs, they get their paycheck, and they like, wow, like this is what a paycheck looks like. This is how it feels for me to work, understand what working is, and developing those skills. So it's great to keep these kids off the streets, but also at the same time, these students are also building a network, building a portfolio. I'm very big in understanding my kids that, once you get older, you got to start building a network, the streams of people from different fields, because you never know who you're going to meet one day. You never know who you're going to need one day. Also, a lot of our students also get mentors. After a while, you might need a resume. You might need somebody to look up to. So earning that $1, building soft skills and hard skills, having a mentor, those are great things that our students normally will learn throughout the summertime and wintertime.
And I think we keep them busy because on top of just getting them jobs, once a week we do an activity to engage young people, from voter registration, community cleanup. We did a yoga event one year. So we do different activities to engage them and keep them busy.
Oh, good. Do participants get hired after the summertime by the organizations?
Oh, yes. So we as Catholic Charities hire close to 50 of them every year, because we hire them to be in our after-school programs, in our cultural centers, and our different programs. Bobby did a good job when he was here with us before, where we would keep track of the CBOs that were hiring young people, so we were aware. So a lot of our young people do get hired by our summer youth sites. And I think, we have a lot of staff that are now advocates and working full-time with us that went through school. So yeah, that's a big thing for us. It's something that we make sure that young people take opportunities.
What are some of the other skill sets? Like, do you teach them about financial literacy? So tell me about what some of those other workshops that you promote with them.
So some workshops that we will promote resume workshops, we will have cover letter workshops, we'll have financial literacy workshops, we will have interview skills workshops, we will even have educational workshops, we will have time management workshops, professional development workshops, because sometimes students need to understand, especially when they're young, how to be professional sometimes. So we will have professional workshops, or we will even have workshops based on communication. There's different types of forms of communication. So, and we will also have workplace etiquette. Those are a couple of workshops that we would love to teach our students throughout the summertime and during the wintertime as well.
And I think two key partnerships is with the SUNY Attain Labs. We're going to be doing virtual trainings for young people. So they're going to learn soft skills and hard skills on computers. We also are doing something that DYC just started with the Google mapping, where Google is going to train staff to train young people. So we're very excited about that. That's something that is going to really kick up, because we're going to give young people, they're going to get certificates and some of these Google certificates. So it's a big thing that's happening.
And just to piggyback off of that, one of the great workshops that we're going to definitely start this year is understanding your soft skills and understanding your hard skills, and how that could connect to what type of career that you might want to be interested in.
So I know the program is called Summer Youth Employment Program, but I understand you also have a school year program. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so we do have a school-based career readiness program. It's so funny because I was actually with one of the students yesterday, and he was like, yes, that's the plug program right there. And I was like, what do you mean is the plug program? Because with our school-based programs, we are connected with 4 community-based high schools. With those 4 community-based high schools, those students, we actually have an office in those schools. And with those students, they actually automatically get SYEP. So that's kind of like they plug, they say right there, you automatically get a summer youth employment job. But also, those students will still stay with us for the winter time, which is our Work, Learn, and Grow program. Through that Work, Learn, and Grow program, the first couple of months from October to December, they're taking a CUNY course. So our students are actually getting college credit. They're actually getting college credit, so that's a great thing. So the students love that, so they could get credit before they go to college and graduate early. So they're getting college credit while also taking professional workshops hosted by us, while also going on field trips at the same time. So we'll take field trips to colleges. We will go to bowling events. We will go to Broadway shows, different events like that, while also trying to, make them happy as well. And then in January to April, that's when we actually start placing them into their internship. So they're developing those skills from our workshop and from our CUNY class, and using those skills and utilizing it at our internship sites from January to April.
So I heard you said you take them on college trips. Tell me about those college trips. Where do you take them, and what's their reaction once they're there?
So we do both, right? So we do CUNY, local, and we do SUNY. So this year we took them over a weekend. They went as far as from Buffalo. So they saw 3 schools in that region, and they spent the weekend up there, and they had fun. They went to play bowling, whatever, but then they went to the schools, and they were able to, we had one of the schools open on Sunday for them specifically and open up a lab, so they got to see, so those kids that were interested in medical field got to see that. So it's a great experience. I think every child will an essay on what the impact they had and on their lives. And I think, and then in our CUNY, during the week, we try to get them to our local CUNY schools. We also have, of course, Columbia University, which is a neighbor. We make sure that they go there. We're also taking them to Fordham University. So it's really making sure that they have an expanded opportunity of what schools look like and what schools they could visit and attend.
And what's good about that, I always get excited when he say Buffalo, because I graduated from SUNY Buffalo State. But what's also great about that is that we're taking the kids out of the neighborhood. A lot of our students stay in the neighborhood. I would remember one time one of the students thought New York City was the whole New York State. And I was like, New York State have so much to offer. There's a lot that's going on upstate. So taking the students out the neighborhood so they can actually see what other parts of New York State is pretty awesome. The students love it. They like, wow, we actually have trees. There's actually a forest. Like, I'm like, yes, guys, there's trees over there. We have lakes. There's animals that live there. So they love that. But while also taking them to college and letting them sit down, see a college course. What does the laboratory look like if you want to be in a nursing program? What does the criminal justice class look like in a big lecture hall and you're learning law? So exposing them to college and higher education is definitely a great feeling for our students, and they love it.
So I know it's a little bit late to apply for SYEP, but what about workplace sites? Well, where should they call, or what website should they visit?
I don't remember the website. But a good question, Beatriz. So we really are still open to accept work sites. So if you have a business, a program, and you want to hire young people, give young people an opportunity, we pay them. All we ask is to supervise them. You have to evaluate them, give them an evaluation in the beginning of the program, an evaluation at the end of the program. You could go to www.syep.com and then look for work sites, and then you'll say you're interested at Catholic Charities Community Services, and they will contact that with you directly.
What was the website again?
www.syep.com.
Okay, great.
No, I'm sorry, YEPS.com is the back.
Yes.
Thank you for our guests for sharing all the great work that you do to provide help and create hope for our children and young folks. It's been a very instructional and great time with all of you. From the autistic children and the developmental disabilities, and in caring for a respectful environment, to our summer youth employment program, and for you who continue to develop leaders for our workforce. Catholic Charities provides help, creates hope to those in need year-round. Please consider getting involved by volunteering, donating, or contacting us if you need support. Thank you for watching.